Hello, welcome back to my channel, Steady as She Grows. I'm Lorinda. It's garden tour day. It's March 30th. There's only 2 days left of the month, today and tomorrow, and I need to do a garden tour because I haven't yet, because I'm a procrastinator and I haven't even started my seeds yet, and I still have a bunch of tomatoes I need to plant, and I'm nowhere near being ready for spring. But hey, what are you gonna do? Life goes on, and I'm a busy mama, like I always tell you guys. So we're going to do a garden tour, show you what's going on in the garden. There's a few changes and some things that you're probably so tired of looking at. But anyways, here we go. Okay, so first things first, I kind of rearranged it. I had a table over here that I got rid of because my son just keeps all his crap on it and I'm so tired of looking at it. So I figured if the table's not there, he won't leave his crap everywhere. Anyways, it was broken and falling apart. So I got rid of it and kind of cleaned it up a bit. And I put some of my potted plants here. I got some succulents and some flowers and stuff. I propagated my monstera, but then I forgot it and left it in the sun, and look what happened to it. It got all fried up. So I don't know if it's going to survive. I really don't think so. I might have to check this piece. I might trim it up and see what happens. I have no clue. Some mint that I transplanted here a while back. It's finally starting to grow, thank goodness. My thyme and rosemary is looking fab. My new water bottle, because I am terrible at drinking water, so it has timestamps for when you should be completed with a certain amount by a certain time. That'll help keep me on track because I am terrible with drinking water. My new pretty pillows I got at Walmart. Aren't they so cute? I saw them and I loved them. Okay, let's see, we got some coleus. I moved some of my other plants around. Now my beautiful little rose bush that my friend Natalie gave me, FYI, go follow her Instagram, Natalie Plants Art on Instagram, and she has a YouTube channel too, Natalie's Plant Art. Go check her out. She gave me this like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was doing so good, but I think it's getting too much sun here and it's getting all shriveled up. I do see some new growth right there, so that's a good sign. But yeah, I need to fix that because I love it. It has beautiful variegated roses, mini roses. Some of my other little plants, string of pearls, string of bananas, some begonia. I love that little succulent. The leaves on that are fuzzy. And all of these potted plants, I potted up myself. I did not buy them like this. There's an oxalis. I took off some of the tubers like maybe last year from my oxalis plant and popped them in here, and now it's finally starting to grow. But my other oxalis plant that I just transplanted in my last video is not doing too well. Like the smaller one in the smaller pot is just, looks like it's dying. I don't think it's going to make it. So I'm kind of bummed about that, but whatever. I got some nasturtiums climbing up this little trellis right here. How does your garden grow? These are all my tomato plants that I'm going to be planting. Check out my last video. I went through all the plants I'm going to be planting this season and super excited about. This tomato plant, look at the biggest blooms on this tomato plant. There were some huge ones on here. Let's see here. Like some of these flowers are just ginormous. And it's doing really good. I keep trimming off suckers and I need to go through it again. This is, like I said, last year's tomato plant, so I think it has a little bit of disease in it, but as long as I keep cutting it off, it does fine. Look at that big baby. I'm gonna go through over here really quick. These are some tomatillo seedlings that were volunteers in my garden that I just popped out of the ground and put them in a pot to grow them. And this looks like it was a zinnia that was a volunteer that I took out of the garden and popped in there. We got a sunflower right here. I think I'm going to plant one of my tomato plants right here. I'm not sure yet. Impatiens, I've had those for a while. This fiery succulent that I trimmed up not too long ago, cleaned up. It looked like it had a fungus. It had some white stuff on it. Some more coleus that is getting way too much sun in this spot. But look at those begonias. Those are gorgeous. Now I did plant some flower seeds in here on this little mat that had flower seeds built into it. And it looks like the mat got exposed and I don't think the flowers are going to come up. But fingers crossed, I'm being hopeful. Here's the tomato. Here's the potato plants that I put in the grow bags. Oh, look. They're starting to emerge. Yay. I see leaves. I see green. That's exciting. My trough trellis right here. I have some beets still in here. But look at those beets. Those beets are ready to come out. Isn't that cool? The other ones were delicious. This is my cherry tomato plant mixed with a tomatillo plant. I have a sun gold right there. And, but these tomato plants don't look too healthy. So I'm not sure what's wrong. I'm gonna have to trim up all the yucky leaves and see what's up. But the tomatillo plant is just going crazy. Don't you just love tomatillo plants? Just the little lanterns, I love it. What else? Some potted plants. A big giant succulent plant that has gone to flower. The bees love it. And this is my fuchsia plant that is starting finally to put on some growth, but I need to move it because they like more shadier spots and it has a lot of burnt and singed leaves on it. So I'm gonna have to fix that and move it. I don't think it likes this spot. Okay, I'm gonna go around. Okay, so here we have still that butternut squash that is doing nothing. It's like, come on, at least put on some fruit already. We got some more beets down here that need to be harvested. Oh man, that's a massive one right there. Look at that. But look, my roses, they finally started to put on flower. Isn't that cool? But I do need to trim up this rose because it's just going crazy. It's going every which way. Okay, strawberries that have been here for a couple of years. I really need to clean it up, but I'm kind of scared to stick my hand in there. One of my friends had a snake. Sometimes I find spiders. So yeah, and I've caught Daisy eating my strawberries out of here. So when I get them, she eats them. So I think I need to cover it. But look at this tomatillo. Look at it. So cool, right? I just love tomatillos. I do. It's mixed in with some basil that has gone to flower, but the bees love it, so I don't mind. My kohlrabi I took out from here. I took it out because I didn't know when to harvest it. And by the time I came back from Tennessee, it was already way too big and woody. I couldn't even eat it. So I think I'm going to put a tomato plant here. Oh no, I was going to put ground cherries here. That's right, a ground cherry. Got some onions down there. Here's another potato plant right here. And some pepper plants that have flowers, but I really need to trim this up. I saw a video on YouTube that said I can take off the leaves, cut off anything brown, and water it really well and it'll come back. So we'll see. I had this pot that had stuff germinate in it. I didn't even plant it. So I think it's bacopa, which was in there before. Kind of cool. So I just kind of let it go in there. Free plants that I didn't even plant. These onions, I don't know why I replanted those onions. They look terrible. And all my carrots, remember that something ate them? Well, look, I have two. I have one there and one there. So I guess 2 carrots is better than none. But I really do want to replant carrots because I love them so much. And in this little strawberry tower that I got at Aldi last year, I have some strawberries. Isn't that cool? And some onions. that are not growing as fast as my other ones did. So I'm a little worried. I don't know. But look at my African daisies. Don't they look beautiful? Those are gorgeous. And I got some nasturtium in a little pot. Oh my gosh. Is that sunburnt or is that variegated leaves? Oh, it's sunburnt. I was excited for a second. I'm like, ooh, a new variety. Because, you know, I just popped a handful of mixed seeds a few years ago, and every year I get like a different kind of nasturtium coming up. Normally the orange ones are like standard, but then I get some that are like super bright, like this one with a little bit of red variegation in the middle. And then these ones are like a coral color. So it's a surprise, but something is getting to these leaves. I don't know if it's the sun or what, but that nasturtium plant is kind of out of hand. I kind of have to train it to go up the trellis right here. But it's working. Look, it's starting to climb. My little succulent garden. Now this is my blue agave that has some, I think that's from not being watered enough. I don't know. But I get some of those leaves every now and then. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't like sun. I have no clue. But I need to pop some more succulents in here because it's not very succulent-esque right now. There's just a few here and there. And I really need to weed. Okay, sunflower right here. Now look at my apple tree. I have flowers right here, which is awesome. But it's also not a good thing because none of the other branches have flowers on them, which means these branches are not going to get pollinated because apple trees need cross-pollination. So kind of bummed about that. I don't think I might get anything unless someone in the neighborhood has an apple tree nearby, which I doubt, and it gets pollinated by the bees. But yeah, but either way, the flowers are really pretty. You know, I was at Costco last week, and there was a guy there buying cherry trees. And I was walking by, I had just parked my car, and I said, ooh, what kind of trees did you get? He said, oh, I got cherry trees. They have a bunch of fruit trees inside. And I said, oh, that's really cool, and I'm glad you got 2 trees because they need cross-pollination. And he's like, what? One of these is for my mother-in-law, and one of these is for me, and we don't live together. And I said, oh, you need to have 2 trees for the pollination. That obviously Costco doesn't let people know certain varieties need 2 trees. And he's like, oh man. He's like, well, I guess I'm keeping both of these. So I'm like, well, good for you. Anyways, here is my rooster, which is falling over. There you go, rooster. This is my sweet alyssum. Look at how beautiful that looks. And some sunflowers that have been eaten up by bugs. I don't even know what's eating them. They have holes. Who knows? But that one got devoured. There's cabbage. That is not bulbing up. I don't know if it will in time because it's supposed to get pretty warm. It might start to bolt. This is my lantana, I think it is. I think this one is called banana split because it has yellow and pink. And I trimmed it all up, remember? And look, it came back really good. Now I need to spray it with some neem so no more bugs get to it. Okay, let's go over here before I forget to come on this side. But here is my beautiful geraniums. Look at the colors on these geraniums. I just love it so much. Next to some little white daisies that are just a volunteer. Sunflower. My garlic. And look at my hollyhocks. They're putting on so much growth. I'm so excited. And I even see some buds starting to form. Really excited for those to bloom. Now it's starting to get the rust disease. You see it right here, which is a fungal disease. The little silver spots. There is a treatment for it. It's an organic, I think copper side or something from Captain Jack's or Bonide. I can't remember. But the trick to that is you need to trim off any rust disease leaves that you see, and then spray it, and then hopefully that'll keep it. And also that happens when there's not enough airflow. So as the hollyhocks start to grow, you need to keep trimming the bottom leaves so it won't get the fungal diseases because it doesn't have enough airflow. And believe me, it was so bushy, and I trimmed off so much, and it looked so big. You couldn't think I could trim off any more, but it was hanging off the sides and covering the garlic. So yeah, I had to trim it up really good. Now you can see underneath it. So that's what it needs. It needs good airflow. Okay. And these are the bok choy that bolted when I was in Tennessee, and I just let it go. But the bees love it, so I let them have it, but I really need to pull it out. And I thought I could just pull it out of the ground like this, but the roots are pretty established, so I'm going to have to cut and maybe dig them out or leave the roots. I don't know. But in between, I have leeks. See? That aren't getting any sun because they're staying kind of small. So these really need to get taken out. And I have cabbages right here. This is the one that was really infested with aphids, which I don't think I'm going to eat, and it's not even forming a head. The other one I ate, and it was delicious. Then I got a little sunflower right there. My celery, which I need to harvest. I'm really terrible at harvesting. I need to make it a regular schedule to harvest my stuff. Look at all this celery. Look at that. And I already cut some. We've eaten some of it, put it in food and stuff like that. So I need to come through and do some harvesting. Maybe I can juice it. But look at these cabbages. This one formed a nice tight head. This one formed a nice tight head, and I covered it with this little netting to keep some aphids out of it, because I had cleaned it up really good because it did have some aphids on the lower leaves, and I didn't want them to infect the bigger leaves, so I put this little netting on it. It's like pantyhose, but it's made for plants. And then I have another cabbage right here that formed a little head, so super excited about that. And it was delicious, by the way. I'm going to show you over here on this side really quick. Look at those. Those are the leeks. Those are the size the leeks should be, with plenty of sun. And behind it, all the bright green you see right there is raspberries. They've started to come back from dormancy, and then they're putting on a lot of growth. So I even think I see one little red raspberry over there. And this was my eggplant. It's putting on eggplants again, but it does have, I think, spider mites. So I'm going to have to treat it for spider mites. Oh yeah, it has spider mites bad. So I may have to rip this out if the treatment doesn't go away. But these eggplants are so delicious. And there's little baby eggplants all over it, so we'll see. Some beets that, these are the ones that were planted too close together, but that's fine with me. If they stay small, I'll harvest them as we need them. I got some peas. I've already been eating these in the garden. Like, I don't even wait till I have a bunch. I just eat them straight out of here because they're so good. Let me see if I can find one here. Oh yeah, look. Oh, that's a good size one. They're always hiding from me. Delish. Okay, this is my lilac tree. I formed it into the shape of a tree. I even braided the trunk myself. And look, it's finally starting to put on its growth. So yeah. I got some more cabbages down here. One formed a head and one did not. But look, my broccoli, it's starting to separate, and one already bolted. I didn't even realize it. So that one I can't eat because it's been so warm here in SoCal. So I think I'm just going to harvest these today, and we're going to cook these up for dinner today, like broccoli rabe. You know, I have some more little side shoots I can pluck off. Some back there. So I really wanted to form nice tight heads, but it just never did. So I don't know. Maybe, but this is kind of in a shady spot. I mean, it gets sun, but not too much sun. Like half the day it gets sun. So I need to find a better place for broccoli. Maybe in this back bed over here. This one's pretty shaded most of the time until like late in the day. But this is probably the better spot for brassicas so they won't bolt. This is my longevity spinach, which needs to be pruned up again. I got a sunflower back here that I planted. That is that one I planted, or is that something else? I don't know. It's not as big as my other ones. Oh, and I got some volunteers of something right there. I don't know, but I really need a weed. Some more sweet alyssum. But look at all the flowers on this lemon tree. It's just going crazy right now, and the bees are all over it. They love it. But then I start to wonder if my tree has that citrus disease. I haven't seen that bug that causes the citrus disease, but I do see a lot of the yellowing leaves. So I'm not sure. If you know what's going on with my lemon tree, let me know. I got spinach here. Oh shit, my spinach is bolting too. Well, this one is anyway. I wonder if it tastes bad. Let's see. No, still tastes like spinach. Maybe I should just harvest these since it's going to get really warm and they might bolt. So I'm just going to harvest what's here. Oh wow, that's delicious. Cilantro that is starting to bolt. Got some stinging nettle, which I don't think I have enough to dry into a tea yet. Maybe I do. I can harvest some of that. And look at all the weeds down here. Isn't that crazy? I really need to weed. I love how weeds, they try to blend in so you don't know that they're there. They try to make you think they're part of the plant that's next to it. But you can't fool me. This is some parsley. More nasturtium. I have a sunflower in a little pot right here. Some more beets and peas climbing up with a trellis, but you can see the peas starting to not like the sun very much. So yeah. It's an empty grow bag that will probably house a tomato. What else we got over here? More longevity spinach that is starting to go to flower. I need to come through and trim all these off because they're like those little fuzzy flowers like dandelions and they go everywhere. So I need to take these off from this plant. And I got a few little onions here that I just popped in, and I did plant some zucchini here, but it has not popped up. I'm not sure if it will. Oh, look, I lied. Look at that. Isn't that super cool? Focus. Anyways, yeah, I guess it decided to come. Better late than never. And I did plant one of those flower mats in here. This is like a wildflower mix in here. And look, I do see I see some green in this one, so that's exciting. But I planted a big one, like right here. And I only see a weed. I put this little trellis thing so the squirrels don't trample on it. I do see a little bit of green right there. But maybe I see a little bit of green there. But you know, it's so hard to tell if things are weeds or not. Oh, I do see some green right there. And oh, I do. Now that's a weed right there. That'll have to come out. But yeah, okay, now I'm so excited. I was like, it's not coming up. Now I did buy a beautiful Blackeyed Susan that I'm going to plant right here and climb up the trellis. So, because I bought seeds for it, but I didn't start them. So I thought, hey, I'm just going to buy a plant. Yeah, it was expensive. It was $15. But hey, the price you pay to stare at beauty. These are my berry bushes that are dormant. Well, this one has like the dark leaves because it's been in the sun, and there's some new growth obviously coming, but I'm not sure from what it's coming from, because there's a few different bushes here. I hope like the one with the brown leaves didn't just die or something and it's just there that I could actually remove. I probably need to go through it and figure out what the green is coming from, because I think there's like 3 or 4 plants here. But anyways, sunflower right there. I moved my composting area to over here. We had that big shed that I took down, and now it's housing all my mess here. I have my compost bins and just a little shelf thing to hold some of my gardening stuff. I really want to clean up this area even more. What I would really like to do is clean up this area back here, which just houses a lot of my trellises. It's a mess. The ground is very uneven. The former owners had poured all kinds of concrete in here, but they like broke it up. So I just need to clear it out, get rid of all those giant chunks of concrete, kind of level it out, and then maybe put some more privacy fencing right here, and then make this my storage area, because it's perfect. It's right behind my back house, and it's a pretty good area. It's probably like 5-6 feet across. So yeah, I just need to make better use of my space. This is that volunteer tomato plant. It's like a cherry or grape tomato plant, but I think I'm going to take it out of here. It does have so many flowers on it, as you can see. But yeah, it's in the same pot as my blueberry bush. Now, I bought some acidic soil for my blueberry plants. So I need to pull the plant out of the pot, fill the bottom of it with the soil, and then put the plant back. Hopefully it won't shock it too much, because I think it's not producing very well, because it needs a more acidy soil, because blueberries need acid, and I don't know if the acid is good for the tomatoes. So plus I don't like it all intertwined like that. I kind of let this go, hoping it would produce sooner than my other stuff, so I can have some tomatoes instead of no tomatoes. But it's just taking forever. I think because there's too many suckers, there's too many clusters, that it's putting all its energy into producing more flowers, and the fruit is taking forever to get ripe. So I don't know. I maybe got one ripe one on here so far. Here's my other blueberry bush here that has blueberries on it. Let me show you. See if I can get in here. You see that? Look at those blueberries. Isn't that so cool? I love me some blueberries. I could probably eat all that like in one sitting. So I need to cover this soon so the birds don't get to them as soon as they turn blue. Now here is my Mizuna and my kale. It is bolted, as you can see. But on Roots and Refuge Farm, if you watch that YouTube channel, she was just saying that she found out from someone else too that you can eat these. You can just rip them off and saute them. It tastes like broccoli. So we're going to have a broccoli-ish type dinner with my bolted broccoli over there and the bolted Mizuna over here. My kale has not bolted yet, so that's good. And I have so much kale. It's crazy. But I just don't eat kale fast enough. I planted way too much. You know, the plants are tiny when you put them in, and you forget it turns into stuff like this. So yeah, I need to take out some of those plants, because I had other thoughts for the space here that was going to house my peppers, but I think I'm going to put my peppers somewhere else, and I'll show you that later. Here is a zucchini plant that has overwintered, that has lots of zucchini little females on there, but it hasn't produced a whole lot of male flowers, so nothing is getting pollinated. And I can't even hand pollinate it because I don't have any male flowers to pollinate it with. So, but I'm just going to let it go, see what happens. Maybe as it warms up, it'll produce more male flowers. And these are these are called many cukes. So this is supposed to produce a lot of Persian style cucumbers. So those popped up. Super excited about that. I have another sunflower right there. These are my delicata squash. There's one there. And these are some flowers there. And look, I have all 3 popped up here of the delicata squash. So and that'll just climb up this trellis right here. And my chives are doing good and they taste delicious. They came back really well. These stupid bottles here, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I didn't want to waste the water, so I had my husband bring them out here because we no longer have sparklets. And I'm tired of looking at them, so I think I'm just gonna dump them. I don't even want to put them in my garden anymore because they've been sitting out in the sun for so long. So yeah. Oh, look. Let me show you something. Look, I got a beautiful flower. This was a volunteer. This little petunia plant volunteered on its own in this little pot here. And when I saw a bunch of buds forming, I snipped them all off. Because if you snip off the buds, wherever you snipped it off from, 2 more shoots will come from that area where you topped it off. So yeah, so I have all kinds of little buds on it now. That's so cool. And this one just bloomed. So pretty. Look at this big old sunflower. This was a volunteer too. This came up on its own. Now I had lemon queen sunflowers here. So I'm hoping this is a lemon queen as well with the multiple heads. So pretty. I have some dragon tongue bush beans hiding way down here that have beans all over it that I need to pick. See that? Beans, beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you know the rest. Okay, and then under here, this needs to come out, is a Space Master cucumber. I have this little thingy on it so the bugs don't get to it. And I'm glad I do because it's looking fine. So I'm going to leave that alone. And I did have, right in the middle of my garlic here, some bean seeds. And looks like something came through and ate them because I did not have them covered, as you can see. But one kind of did right here. So I might just let that go and see what happens. And that, my friends, is my garden in March. Now the sun is just coming out. I love it. It brings me so much joy. Look how beautiful those hollyhocks look with the sun in the background. Well, planty people, there you have it. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this little garden journey. I just love it so much. This time of year, there's always so much going on. Things are changing all the time, and I get so excited. But like I said, it's a really busy time of year for me in general, so I will do my best to produce as much video for you as I can. I know the videos have been spaced out so much, but hey, if you like it, you'll stick around. So it's beautiful. Get out and grow something. It's spring. It feels so good. Things are warming up. But I don't know if I want it to be 91 today. I don't want to have to run my air. I swear, here in California, it goes from winter to summer, just like that. But you guys take care, and we will see you on the next one. Talk to you soon. Bye.